What happens if you invest in nothing but index funds for more than a decade? That's exactly what we did. For 15 years, we invested a large portion of our income into the stock market. Instead of trying to beat the market, though, we just tried to match it. Year after year, we kept buying additional shares of simple index funds aimed at reducing our investing fees while matching the average returns of the stock market. In this video, I'll walk through why we chose such a simple investing strategy, the accounts we used along the way, and most importantly, what actually happened after 15 years of following this strategy. Did investing in boring index funds really make a difference? Honestly, the results surprised even us. We've always taken a fairly simple approach to investing, but we've refined our strategy a couple of times. When we first started investing in our early 20s, we didn't really know what we were doing. The stock market felt like a big mystery, one that required either a lot of luck or specialized knowledge. If you've started investing, you probably felt the same way. But we got started and learned along the way. The more we researched investing, the more we realized something surprising. Over long periods of time, very few investors consistently beat the market. Not individual investors, not professional fund managers, and not even most hedge funds. Research shows that the vast majority of actively managed funds actually underperform the overall market over long periods of time. You know that popular phrase, if you can't beat them, join them? That's the same rationale behind index funds. Instead of trying to outperform the market, you aim to match it by buying the entire market. When you purchase an index fund, you're buying a tiny piece of every major company in the index. If you buy a total US stock market index, you're buying a tiny piece of every major company in the US. That means when the overall market grows, your investments grow with it. And by giving up on the goal of beating the market, you can actually outperform the vast majority of investors, ironically, the ones that are still trying to beat the market. At least that's what the research says. So that's why we chose to invest entirely in low-cost index funds. But it's one thing to believe the research findings, and it's another to see how it's played out in real life. So let's talk about our results. Before we look at how our investments performed, let's cover how much we actually contributed. I recently added up everything we invested over our entire investing journey. This chart shows our actual contributions from 2011 to 2023. Every year we added money to our investment accounts, including retirement accounts and our taxable account. As you can see, we started by investing about $10,000 per year for the first several years. Contributions dipped briefly when we bought our first home and then increased from there. Our highest year was when we moved money from a savings account to our taxable account after deciding not to buy a rental property in 2020. You remember what happened in 2020, right? Can you blame us for not wanting to become landlords then? Over our entire investing history, we contributed $497,864. This includes employer matches. And I share this not to brag, but to provide important context before revealing our portfolio's total returns. So what did all those contributions turn into? As of today, our total balance across all accounts is $1,239,211. Note that this will change between recording this video and when it's released in the coming months, but we'll use this number for our analysis. Oh, and one other thing. Over the years, we've withdrawn about $70,300 from our taxable account. Most of this went toward purchasing our recent home in cash, which we detailed in another video on the channel. But this actually means our contributions turned into about $1.3 million when accounting for what we've already spent. That's a total return of $811,637, or 163%. Another fun way to look at it is that 62% of our investments came from growth and appreciation. As I mentioned earlier, we refined our investing strategy over time. When we first started, we weren't using index funds across all accounts. We started by investing in target date retirement funds in our Roth IRA accounts for the first few years. I don't remember the exact year we switched everything to index funds, but I know it was around 2014. Because of this, it's not completely accurate to say this is the total return for index funds, but given how little we contributed in those first several years, I'm confident it would have made little difference in the total return. Again, these aren't hypothetical numbers, these are our real numbers. Total return over a long period can be hard to wrap your head around. So I asked ChatGPT to calculate our money-weighted return, which takes into account when and how much we invested over time. Our money-weighted return came out to be 14.7% over this entire period. That's not too shabby. Now, there's an important nuance here. Our return is money weighted, meaning it reflects the timing of our contributions. The historical return of the S&P 500, on the other hand, is usually reported as an annualized return, which assumes you invest $1 at the beginning and never add more. Since most investors contribute gradually over time, these two numbers aren't a perfect apples to apples comparison, but they still give us a good rough benchmark. Over the same period, the S&P 500 returned about 13.8% annually. So while the calculation methods are slightly different, our 14.7% return landed pretty close to the overall market. And that's really the key takeaway here. By consistently investing in low-cost index funds, our portfolio basically tracked the market, exactly what index investing is designed to do. If there's one thing you should take away from this video, it's this. Investing in low-cost index funds works exactly as intended. This strategy isn't just theory, it works in practice. So why does this matter? The story isn't just about growing a large investment balance. It's about what that balance represents. These investments are the foundation of our long-term financial independence plan. They also give us peace of mind to start buying back our time now. If you've been following our channel, you know we've taken an unconventional approach to money. We've discovered a concept called Coast-Fi, the point where what you've already saved will grow to fund your traditional retirement, even if you stop investing completely. We reached Coast-Fi a few years ago in our early 30s. We stopped saving for retirement in early 2023, and based on our spending and what we need to become financially independent, we no longer need to contribute to our investment accounts. We've brought our savings rate down to 0 and focus on generating just enough income to cover our expenses. With enough time and modest returns of the stock market, this money will grow to fund our future retirement. For example, if we don't touch our investments for the next 22 years, when we're 60, they could grow to be around $5.3 million, assuming a 7% inflation-adjusted rate of return, all without making another single contribution. Investing in index funds through our 20s and 30s allowed us to make a massive shift. We left traditional employment and started working for ourselves, making just enough to cover our expenses. We now travel months at a time in our converted camper van, and by the time this video is released, we'll be traveling, getting ready to host our in-person retreat at Lake Tahoe. And we do this all because savings is now optional. The funny thing is, we didn't even know about Coast-Fi when we started investing. We stumbled across it, and when we ran the calculation, we were surprised to learn we'd already crossed this milestone. The same may actually be true for you. I'd encourage you to download our free Coast-Fi calculator to see where you stand. I'll include a link in the description below. Thousands of people have already downloaded it to understand where they are on their wealth journey. I've learned a lot from investing in index funds over the last 15 years. Here are 3 quick lessons that stand out. First, simplicity is an advantage. Index fund investing works partly because it's boring and simple. The fewer decisions you have to make, the easier it is to stick with the strategy for decades. When you do this, your wealth has no option but to grow and compound many times over. I spend practically no time managing my investments, and yet they continue to grow and compound in the background. Second, the market will do the heavy lifting over time. Early on, most of our growth came from our contributions. But just 15 years since we started investing, our portfolio is already 62% gains, and this figure will continue to grow over the long term. Finally, low fees matter. Index fund investing works because it minimizes fees. Because they're passively managed, the investment fees are as close to zero as possible. Even spending just 1% of your investments, whether it's part of the investment itself or to pay someone to manage it for you, that could cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars throughout your lifetime. If you want to learn more about which specific fund we've chosen to invest in and how Fidelity offers it without any fees at all, check out this video. And as always, thanks for watching and enjoy your journey.